Hello and welcome to Pyramid EduTech. This is 8th lecture of CSS series. So now I will show you, we already have seen something called Flexbox. Now I will create a navigation bar using Flexbox. So let me create a navbar. So if you're creating a navbar, I should write something called dot container here. Okay. Inside this container, I should write something called UL unordered list dot items. Inside this, I want a list of items with item as a class and item dash dollar as ID with item dash dollar, and let's go with five values. So now you can see I got list of items with class of item ID item 1 to 5, and I got 5 items here. So first I just let me change this. I don't want this. Okay, so for now I don't want this Z. I don't want this because I need to write it manually. Okay, so here I will write something called home. Here you write something called about. Okay, here you write something called contact or services. This is just a random side. I just show you how you create your contact navigation bar, and here you can write something register button or FAQ. Okay, if I save this, okay, and if I come here, you can see home, about, services, contact and FAQ. But this doesn't really looks good because our navigation bar doesn't really looks like this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some styles in it, style, and here first I should write something called dot container. In this I will give a width of 100%. For now I will give width 100%. Okay, and for now I'm not giving any height or something like this, and I just write something called display flex. Now if I save this and if I come here, okay, no, not here. Okay, if I save this, nothing you will see. But what if I do something like back border? So remember, when you do some coding or some stuff like that, always use border so that you can see the where your things are coming. Okay, so I write 1 pixel solid black or brown, whatever color you want to give. So now I can see my alignment. Okay, this much of a space is taking. Okay, I have to play for this much of space. So here now I will write something called dot items, and here I will write display flex. Now it will come, we already have seen in flex, it will come in one side of other. So now you will see some bullet points here. I want to remove this bullet point. For this I will write something called list style, and I will write something called none. And if I save this, you can see that bullet points are gone, and this doesn't really looks good. So we can use something called, we have heard about something called justify content, and if I write something called a space between or a space around, and if I save this, now you can see one side of other. Now you understood why we have done that. A navigation bar, I know there is something called an image tag here, which is your logo, but I'm just randomly writing all these things. You can create a logo, you can create a register button, that we will do later on. Just understand a random, okay, random navigation bar. This is your nav bar. Okay, the nav bar we actually see. Okay, and in this you can give some background color also. Background color, let me go with some background color. Okay, now you can see a background color. You can actually do with you can actually write something called dot. Okay, I just write dot item. Now I can give some color to it. Let's go with color red. Okay, I'm not sure how it looks. Okay, it looks good now. Okay, and if you want, you can give something called font size. Let's go with 22 pixels. Okay, now you can see bigger size. You can just play with it. Okay, I'm just doing all these things. Okay, if you don't want, you can remove this, or you can small this size, or you can do anything, that whatever you want. If you don't want font size, remove it. You can do something called font weight. Okay, you can give 600, whatever you want. So now you can see some more we already have seen pseudo selectors. So now we can do something called item, and you can hover over it. Item, hover over it. When you hover over it like this, yeah, so the color becomes, let's go with something called blue burley wood, or let's go with blue violet. Okay, and background color becomes Alice blue. It's just for sake. Okay, and pointer cursor, sorry, cursor pointer. I can write something called cursor pointer. And if I save this, now if I go here, okay, now you can see it looks pretty good. Okay, we haven't seen much about this, so now I'm not doing much about this, but you can see that okay, it looks pretty good. Okay, so actually you can do something like font weight. You can decrease the font weight here. Okay, if you write font weight 100, if you save this, now when you hover over it, okay, you can see that font weight decreases. Means you can play with it. It's just I've just shown you how you can create your navigation bar and how you can play with all these things. And this is okay because of the percentage. This is response. If you just small the screen size, no, not this. Okay. If you small the screen size, you can see that. If I small the screen size here, you can see that 100% it fits whole screen. So this is how you can create your responsive navbar. If you have any doubts, just comment me down, or if you want to ask anything, just ask in the live class.